What's up investors and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about Nano Dimension, ticker NNDM, and they've had some major news this week. This is an exciting company operating in the 3D additive printing space that has seen huge gains over the past 12 months and gained a lot of media attention, thanks largely to Cathie Wood making major investments late last year. So today we're going to be looking at who exactly are Nano Dimension and what differentiates them from other 3D printing companies. We will look at the very latest news, including two recent acquisitions. We'll see what analysts and Cathie Wood thinks of NNDM and look at the technical charts, the management team and the company's finances. Before we get into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button and bell notification. This way you'll get notified when I make new videos just like this one, and I plan on making update videos on Nano Dimension because after tons of research, I really like this stock and they've got a lot going on right now. And it's a way for you to show your support for the channel. It really helps me out, and best of all, it's 100% free. So I would greatly appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe buttons. Now let's get into it. So who are Nano Dimension and what differentiates them from their competitors? Nano Dimension is a provider of intelligent machines for the fabrication of additively manufactured electronics, or AME. AME technology is a unique technique to print HiPEDs, high-performance electronic devices, layer by layer from scratch. HiPEDs are electronic boards with complex geometrics that cannot be produced in the traditional PCB manufacturing process. The technology injects simultaneously dielectric polymer ink and conductive silver ink from a special printer called the Dragonfly LDM. AME technology presents significant advantages over traditional manufacturing processes. For example, in the printed antennas, it quickly adjusts to the required size of the pads and the distances between the layers, hence reducing production time. It enables the printing of several types of antennas as one unit in a single step, unlike the traditional way in which antennas are assembled from multiple parts prepared by various technologies. It enables wired components to be printed on the same batch, which accelerates the optimization process. This technology allows for multi-layer boards to be created by providing up to 52 layers with connections between layers. This is a vast improvement from traditional technology which provides single-sided and double-sided PCBs. This technology also allows for flexible circuitry. The global flexible circuit industry recorded revenue of $13 billion in 2019 and is expected to grow at a rate of 11% for the next few years. Demand for this will surely increase further with the need for smaller, lighter devices with greater functionality and wearable technologies. The main product is the Dragonfly LDM. The Dragonfly Lights Out digital manufacturing system is the industry's only comprehensive additive manufacturing platform for around-the-clock 3D printing of electronic circuitry. This precision additive manufacturing platform uniquely integrates an extremely precise inkjet deposition printer with dedicated nano inks and optimized 3D software to print electronic circuit boards such as PCBs, antennas, capacitors, sensors. This is state-of-the-art technology. With the Dragonfly, designers can move rapidly from concept and design validation to production of precision electronic components while keeping the entire process securely in-house. Companies can now reduce demand on prototyping and short-run manufacturing resources and lower the total cost of operation in comparisons to traditional manufacturing methods. The Dragonfly is designed for Industry 4.0 and manufacturing of Internet of Things. This is very much the technology of the future today. In my opinion, their technology is so advanced that the market they are aiming at hasn't even got to the stage of needing their technology yet. Nano Dimension bridges the gap between PCB and semiconductor integrated circuits and will reduce the time frame for prototyping and production from weeks and months down to days and weeks. If you haven't already, take a look at the company's website. There's tons of information on there about their technology and the products. What sets Nano Dimension aside from the other operators in the 3D printing space is that they are specifically focusing on the niche of 3D printed electronics market. This is a market that is expected to be worth somewhere between $2.3 billion and $3.9 billion by 2026. One of the major concerns facing traditional PCB manufacturing at the moment is around 90% of all PCBs are manufactured in the APAC region. Intellectual property is cited as a major cause for concern, with a lot of companies being reluctant to send designs to Asia for prototyping. On top of this concern is the prototyping is often a very slow process, with companies waiting weeks to receive the PCB back. Altogether, the whole process is slow, costly, and puts intellectual property at risk. As we can see here, Nano Dimension have a number of major customers, such as 3 multi-billion-dollar US defense manufacturers, 2 European defense companies and multiple secret services, 1 multi-billion US value technology conglomerate, and several multi-leading research institutions around the world. They have also received a bunch of top quality certifications. They have customers across a broad range of industries such as research, aerospace, defense, medical, automotive, and industrial, and the technology provides different benefits to each industry. For example, in research, the Dragonfly system allows you to produce cutting-edge electronics quickly. In aerospace, the AME technology enables the production of reduced weight components. And for the likes of the Department of Defense, it allows them to keep their intellectual property in-house and eliminate the need for involving external third parties. Now, let's get on to some very recent news. If you'd like me to talk more about Nano Dimension technology and the possibilities that this tech will have in the future, drop a comment down below and I'll cover it in the next video. The possibilities here seem limitless in my opinion. Also, if you haven't done so yet, show your support for the channel and hit that like and subscribe buttons. So now, on to some news. Nano Dimension acquires micromechanics 3D printing leader Nanofabrica, a world leader in technology and turnkey systems for precise 3D microprinting or precision additive manufacturing. Nano Dimension will pay the shareholders of Nanofabrica a total ranging between 55 and 59 million. Of that, 23 to 27 million will be paid in cash and approximately 32 million will be paid in shares, which cannot be sold for various periods of up to 24 months after the closing of the transaction. Certain cash payments will be based on Nanofabrica's revenue and gross margin performance in the next 12 months. Nanofabrica is a prominent player in the field of precision digital manufacturing. They bring the power of additive manufacturing to applications that require high precision, overlapping, and typical target markets of Nano Dimension, such as aerospace, aviation, high-end electronics, and the automotive industries, medical, optics, research, education, and much more. Nanofabrica's technology and machines are designed to enable mass manufacturing of precise, complex parts. As we can see here from their website, they produce extremely small productions, and this will further boost Nano Dimension's share of the market and their position as a market leader. To get a better look at the overall meaning of this acquisition, I advise anyone who's thinking of investing in this to come here and take a look at Nanofabrica's website. In other recent news, earlier this week, Nano Dimension signed an agreement to acquire DEEPCUBE Limited, a world leader in machine learning, deep learning technology. Nano Dimension will pay the shareholders of DEEPCUBE approximately 40 million in cash and 30 million in shares, which are subject to stand still for various periods of up to 3 years after closing this transaction. Such closing is expected in the next few days, and as we can see here on the 23rd, that transaction was finalized. So DeepCube technology applies numerous patented breakthrough algorithms to improve data analysis and deployments of advanced deep learning AI systems. DeepCube's AI ML DL solutions demonstrate 10 times speed improvements and memory reduction, making it the only technology which allows efficient deployment of deep learning models on edge devices and for real-time applications. DeepCube scientists and engineers, all of whom are expected to join Nano Dimension upon closing of the transaction, are AI ML DL experts, veterans of the Defense Forces, Homeland Security, and government big data agencies. These are well-connected people. Nano Dimension's vision is to establish Industry 4.0 solutions, which entail building an AI ML distribution digital fabrication application rather than just building machines as capital equipment. The AI ML DL distribution electronic fabrication application, wow, that's a mouthful, will enable a totally environmentally and ecologically friendly digital control of the supply chain for the high performance electronic devices. So the CEO has said, think about personal computers from 1988 to 1998, which metamorphed from a standalone personal device to an edge device of the local area networks, then the wide area networks, then the internet, and eventually the cloud. Nano Dimension's Industry 4.0 vision means that eventually maintaining inventory of high-end electronic devices in digital form, print them as you need them, when you need them, where you need them, only the quantity you need in the best quality at competitive prices, as it is done in highest yield and possible for that point in time, specifically in high mix low volume scenarios. Moving on now to the Kerrisdale short report. I'm not going to give this short report much time because I don't actually agree with any of it, but I want my viewers to be aware of this, and I don't want to seem like I'm cheerleading a company or turning a blind eye to any potential downsides. So let's take a very quick look at it. Number 1. DEEPCUBE is one of the silliest moves in recent memory, paying $70 million to acquire a random startup in an unrelated field founded by 2 NNDM board members. I don't agree that this is an unrelated field, and these board members have only just recently joined, and this deal has been in the works for quite some time, so them joining would have been part of this deal. 2. NNDM's core concept itself is a joke. It's supposed to allow 3D printing of circuit boards, but its tech can't handle high temperatures or produce boards with high connectivity. Early adopters have been very disappointed with the results. I don't see anything to back this up. Maybe I'm wrong? Leave a comment down below if there's any truth to this that you know about. So, number 3. Capitalised on market craziness to raise ludicrous amounts of cash, $1.5 billion with no obvious use. Now it's writing a big check to acquire a company that has nothing to do with 3D printing, founded by 2 of its board members. We've already gone through this. But with regards to the capital raise, let's face it, when's the best time for a company to raise capital? That's when the share price is going up. This is a company in its early growth stage, and as we can see from the financials later, they are loss making, so it makes sense to raise as much cash as possible when the share prices are high. As for number 4, I've already read the DEEPCUBE article, and I encourage anyone to go take a look at this article. As for number 5, it says pretty much the same thing. So what do the analysts think, and what does Cathie Wood think? So I was unable to find any analysts that are actually covering Nano Dimension, which to be honest I found a little bit unusual considering that their market cap, the amount of media attention that they've had over the past few months, and the interest that there has been in the additive manufacturing industry in general recently. However, although we don't have any analyst price targets and recommendations, one opinion in the past year that has got more credibility than the majority of analysts out there is the opinion of Cathie Wood. Cathie has been very bullish on Nano Dimension for a long time, and Ark Invest are a major shareholder in Nano Dimension. In fact, Ark Invest are the largest institutional owner, currently owning 3.37% of the company. Now, Ark were very early investors in the company, originally buying in well before the share price rocketed up, but that has not stopped them from adding to their position over the past few weeks. In April alone, Ark added 1.7 million shares between April 11th and April 20th. Cathie Wood is still very bullish on this stock, and I'll put a link in the description to an interview she gave some months ago and some weeks ago. Now let's look at the technical charts. As we can see here from the 1-year chart, Nano Dimension has been rising from October until early February and has gone up from about $2 up to about $18. We can see here from its February heights that it has been moving in this downward channel right through until early March, before bouncing off the support level in early March and rallying up to about $12 again. Then here we can see it's been moving in this less steep downward movement until this week, where it has once again hit the same level of support as early March and has begun to rally. Just look here at the 2 areas I've circled in red. These formations look almost identical. So after dropping a bit today, we could yet see this continue to rise over the coming weeks. And in the long term, I think this has fantastic potential. Moving on now to the team at Nano before we look at the company's financials, which is well worth sticking around for. I think it's always important to have an idea of the team running a company that you're investing in, what experiences they have and the history they have of growing companies. The history of successful management is a powerful indicator of future successes, but also well-connected management can use those connections to help promote the company and secure contracts. Nano is led by CEO Yov Stern. He's a seasoned executive with a proven track record spanning decades in many different high-tech industries as well as homeland security. He spent most of his career in the USA running companies with global operations. He has built several successful companies from single-digit revenues as high as 330 million annual revenues through effective strategies and impressive organic growth. Overall, I'd say Yov Stern is a highly capable CEO with a proven history, and he's probably well connected considering the industries he's been involved in. Then we have President Zvi Nedivi. He has been the CEO of several technology companies in his own right and has connections with the US and NATO military forces as well as law enforcement agencies And like Mr. Stern, he has a history of growing companies from small revenue to multi-million revenues using organic growth and then M&A strategy. He also has connections to the Israeli Air Force, where he was a fighter pilot and held the rank of major. To anybody who's interested in learning a bit more about the company's management and board, I suggest going to the website. There's plenty of information there on everybody in detail. One last mention though, for the company COO, Zeki Piled. This is a man who's extremely experienced across a whole range of multi-billion euro corporations, such as AT&T and Vodafone, as well as Elbit Systems, which is a multi-billion-dollar international defense company in the areas of avionics, ground and navy systems. Again, this would be a very well-connected person in the company. Now, moving on to the company's financials. Now, this report was released in March, and the next quarter report will be released in the next couple of weeks. And in line with that, I'll be releasing another video when that news comes out. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to get a notification for that video. Looking here at the statement of profit and loss for the last 3 years, we can see the revenue was down significantly in 2020. The net loss was increased significantly from just 8 million in 2019 to 49 million in 2020. And there's a number of reasons for this. 2020 was a tough year for a lot of companies, and with a lot of people working from home, the customers that the likes of 3D printing companies would have were largely not buying printing machines. So that explains the decrease in revenue. Prior to 2020, revenue had been growing steadily. Secondly, with the company not selling as many machines, they chose to invest more money into research and development. So we can see here research and development is up about 20% on the prior year. And then finally, we have this huge general and administrative expenses. This is largely made up of a share-based payment for the company CEO. Now, I'll be honest, I don't like to see this level of payment to any company CEO. But looking here, we can see that this was granted to him back in August 2020 when the share price was only a fraction of the price at the report date. We can also see here that as part of the deal, Mr. Stern forfeited options to purchase shares that had previously been granted to him. Now, looking at the balance sheet, we can see here that the company had total assets of nearly 700 million and liabilities of only 22 million. This gives the company a very healthy asset to liability ratio of nearly 35:1, which is insanely good. Then there is the fact that the majority of this is made up of cash, which is fantastic, but it's worth noting that with the company making losses like they did in 2020 and the fact that they might still be a few years away from profitability, this cash is very much needed. Now, this statement of financial position is at the end of December 2020, and since then there's been developments which have greatly affected this balance sheet. First of all, the recent acquisitions of DEEPCUBE and Nanofabrica will have cost the company approximately 70 million in cash altogether. But also, since December, the company has added to its cash position massively. And prior to those two acquisitions, the cash position in April was approximately 1.5 billion, thanks to a 250 million, a 330 million and a 500 million direct offering. So this company is cash rich going forward. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. It took a long time to research this company, and I plan on bringing even more information in the next videos. It just would have taken too long to put everything into one video. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button and bell notification, do now, so you don't miss out on the update videos. Plus, it really helps me with the algorithm. I hope that I've shared some information with you that you weren't already aware of, and I hope you found value in this video. I must say that before I started researching the company, I thought I knew exactly what they did. I thought they were a 3D printing company making solid metal parts and other stuff like that. But their technology is so advanced I was actually really surprised. I think they might actually be even ahead of their time. The real world applications for a lot of this don't even exist yet. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Nano Dimension. And I think that now is a fantastic time to buy into the company after they've done so many share offerings. It's always good to get in after they've diluted, as opposed to before. As always guys, this is just my opinion, and if anyone's thinking of buying into the stock, I encourage you to do your own research. As I said before, I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Thanks for watching the video. What are your thoughts on the future of Nano Dimension and their technology? What are your thoughts on the mega share-based compensation for the CEO? Leave a comment down below. Catch you in the next one.